The time has come for unfiltered, politically incorrect common sense. Welcome to the wild world of Cowboy Logic. Logic.
Welcome back to Cowboy Logic Radio. I'm Donna Fiducia.
I'm Don Neuen, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for sticking with us tonight. This is absolutely a riveting evening, don't you think? Back to you, Donna.
With intros like that, how do I do this with a straight face?
You're not supposed to.
I guess not. Our guest is...
If you were, you would be working for PBS right now.
That's true. Then I would have to talk like this,
That's
and
right.
within 30 seconds...
And we'd have to talk about Schwetti balls.
You would be asleep.
That's right. Okay, back to you, Donna. Let's get serious. We've got a very cool person on the phone with us here.
I did want to say, if NPR wasn't subsidized by the government, it wouldn't exist. But that's another story. Kuuleme Stevens is our guest now, and we've talked to her a few times. She's certainly opinionated. That's just about the best way to put it. She is a black, conservative, former adult film star, but she still is into wrestling, acting. She's a model. She's a singer. She's also into politics, and
she's also a veteran.
Extremely into politics.
She's also a vet.
Yes?
She's a veteran. Okay.
Well, what else haven't you done, Kuuleme? Welcome back to Cowboy Logic Radio.
Hello. I think I've done almost everything.
You have. You've done everything.
What is the website, off the bat, that people can get hold of you? Because after they hear you, they're going to want to get hold of you.
They can actually find me on Facebook. My page is public, and I also am on The Last Civil Right as well.
TheLastCivilRight.org, correct?
Yes, but that page is down right now because we're moving it over to a different site. So they can just look us up at The Last Civil Right on Facebook for right now.
Okay, right off the bat, I want to get into, because we've had you on before, and you're very outspoken. You have been in the crosshairs now of Black Lives Matter. Fill us in on that.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I had taken a photo shoot using the Confederate flag. I had a baseball cap and a cowboy hat, one of the little flasks and a belt buckle, and I had attached some facts about lynchings and slavery and the Confederate flag, actual facts to them. I guess they didn't take to the photo shoot very well. First, it only started off to be a handful of people. The next thing I know, my inbox was flooded, and then my page was flooded. They weren't paying attention to any of the facts either. They weren't on there, to talk about disputing any of the facts that were attached to the pictures. They were just screaming racial slurs and calling me names, making threats, things like that. And there's no stopping them. I even had one turn around and make a YouTube, and she went after me. She made three or four YouTubes just specifically geared at me.
Well,
and I guess you
hold on a second. I saw these YouTube videos. Okay, first of all, this woman clearly has an issue. The other thing is this.
Oh, the woman that's attacking.
The woman that's attacking. Yeah. And she is so inconsequential to what's going on
and she's
that I don't remember her name. Mm-hmm. But what I can tell you is this. In the videos that I watched, Kuuleme, she was vile.
Yeah.
Okay? Very.
She was vile.
Even to the point of having her children in the backseat making one of the videos and going off at the mouth. It was crazy.
Now, how anybody like that is relevant or has credibility or even has a platform is beyond me. But my understanding is there were enough attacks on you and enough reporting to Facebook, or was your Facebook page shut down?
Yes, my model page is shut down right now. Actually, this is the third time that it's been shut down. Normally, the Facebook will shut it down, and then they'll go through it, see that I haven't done anything or said anything that violates their community standards, and after about 3 days, they'll put it back up. This time has been a longer time, though, because it's been down for 5 days now.
And what are what is Facebook telling you?
They actually didn't tell me anything. They just said that the page is being unpublished, and I took a screenshot of it. They said that it was going to be unpublished. They're going to go through it to see if I've posted anything that's against their community standards, and if anything on there of mine violates their standards, that my page is going to be removed completely from Facebook. And nothing has changed on my page at all. This photo shoot was done over a month ago.
Are you able to correspond with Facebook? Have you been corresponding with them at all?
No, because there actually isn't a place where you can. They give you an option when they suspend your page. You can press appeal, and that's all you can do.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, many of the followers of Cowboy Logic Radio, Red Nation Rising, Donna and myself are also friends with you, Kaleem. All right, and yes. I would like to put out a call to action that on behalf of Kaleem, anybody that's listening to this show, anybody that's following us, please post something on your page about this injustice crap that's going on with Kaleem and her page, because this is totally bogus.
But we need to spell your name.
Well, it was not just. Mm-hmm. It was not just my model. It's my Justice Lee page that they started. At first, they started attacking the comments, and then when they couldn't get the comments or the pictures pulled, then they moved to attacking the page itself. And I guess once you get so many reports, they automatically shut you down. Now, we have reported numerous, over 100. I've reported almost 200 comments now that they're using. And I keep getting the standard message back that their comments do not violate the community standards, even though they're using the N-word. They're calling me, everything from a sellout all the way up to the most vile names. They had put my address up on my page telling me that they were going to kill me, things like that. And we've reported those, and there's other people on my page that have reported over 100 as well. And Facebook sends back a message that their comments don't violate the standards. And I don't see how that's not possible.
How is that not possible? They also actually maintain the Facebook pages of a lot of terrorists because they don't want to. It's almost like the political correctness is so bad at this point that they're going to throw someone like yourself under the bus, because people might complain about you, but God forbid they actually go to the page and see that that's not the case. Meanwhile, you've got terrorists actually organizing attacks here in the United States and abroad, and they do nothing about it.
Correct.
All right, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Again, a call to action. Please post on your page the injustice that is taking place with Kaleem Stevens, Kuuleme, Stevens with a PH. All right? Do something about this. This is not cool. This young lady has a very productive past politically. Mm-hmm. She is a conservative. Kaleem, what is the equivalent to an Uncle Tom? Because I would say you probably been labeled that.
Oh, they call me an Aunt Jemima. I've been called an Uncle Tom as well.
Oh, really? So Uncle Tom is gender neutral?
Yeah, I guess it's gender neutral because they've called me that as well.
I wonder what bathroom
part of the LGBT.
I wonder what bathroom Uncle Tom would use then. That is that's something for another show. All right, so right now you are basically in Facebook jail again, right?
Well, in Facebook jail on my model page, yes. Now, when they shut down my model page, some of them tracked me down to my actual Kuuleme Stevens page.
Right.
And then they started, then I've been in Facebook jail there 3 times as well, because they keep coming over, they spew whatever they have to say there as well, and then they started reporting that page. So not only was my model fan page shut down, my actual Facebook page was shut down as well.
And you've also been attacked, if I'm not mistaken, because you're very outspoken against or in favor of pro-life. Am I correct?
Correct.
Yeah. But you've got these left-wing mental midgets that are attacking you. They're attacking you under a number of different screen names and Facebook names. When you finally block one of them, they go start up another one. It's the same crap that the left is doing, much like multiple voting. These people have multiple Facebook pages and under aliases, and they attack you that way, right?
Oh, yes. And then they've also had a group that they sent over. I guess that's what they do. What is it? The United Front Civil Rights. That's on Facebook as well. And it takes you back to their page, and it's another Black Lives Matter group. I've gotten several messages that because they shared it on their Facebook page, the photo album, and then they sent all their people over to my page, and I got several messages saying that I needed to be careful because they're a group, and what was said was they're a cult led by sociopaths. They take pride in taking people's jobs, so be careful. That was one message I received on this group, and a lot of these people that are posting on my model page and attacking me on my model page are in that group, which is also tied to Black Lives Matter.
All right, let me ask you this. As a black woman, clearly you
They
agree...
told me I wasn't black anymore, so we had to come up with a different term now.
Oh, all right. Well, you look black to me.
She's American.
Yeah, exactly. Let me ask you this. Clearly, Black Lives Matter. I think you'll agree with me on that statement, right?
Yes.
Okay. Just like Asian lives matter and Hispanic, if I can use that fictitious word, Hispanic lives matter. And
everybody's lives matter. Dogs and cats' lives matter as well. But
well, especially if you're a Hindu.
They're pushing it to an extreme.
That would be cows if you're a Hindu.
So let me ask you this, Kaleem Stevens, who is joining us tonight to talk about all kinds of interesting things, and we still have about 13 minutes. We're going to get into some radical stuff here in a minute. But Kaleem, let me ask you this. What are your views as a black woman, a black American? Well, you're still black to me, even though to them you're not black. But what are your views on this movement, Black Lives Matter?
I have actually called that movement out as a joke, because if Black Lives mattered, we wouldn't have as a black community, we would not have the highest abortion rate going on in our community. We wouldn't have the second to highest dropout rate in high school. They drop out in junior high and high school. They wouldn't be out in the middle of the streets. They'd be working jobs instead of blocking interstates and freeways and things like that. The black on black crime, they think that there's no black on black crime, which is wrong. When they're focusing on just the blacks, like with the Black Lives Matter movement, then we need to look at the crime that happens there, and gang violence, drug violence, things like that. That's very rampant in the black community. If they actually stood behind that Black Lives Matter, they'd be focusing on our community and building it up, not keeping the people ignorant and bringing them down, and focusing on stuff that, calling out. They say they call it injustice. They don't. They just jump on everything racially and try to say it's racist. Not everything is going to be racist. Not, there's some things, there's still racism in this world. Yes. But not everything is racist. Like the shootings with the cops that they are screaming about. Most of those people didn't follow directions, didn't get down, either went for guns down in their pockets, things like that. And, the little boy, the 13-year-old that got killed, pretending to shoot people out in the park when they had taken the orange protector off, things like that. And he also didn't put...
You mean the orange protector on the barrel of the gun?
On the barrel, yes.
I covered a story like that in New York years ago. Same thing. The kid takes the orange barrel off. It looks like a real gun. He's shot.
It looks like a real gun. Yes.
And you know what they don't?
And now it's an all-out war on the police department instead of going in and fixing our community, the black community. And they could be fixing stuff themselves. Everything starts in the home. And that's why we have a big problem in the black community, is because we have the young teenage mothers raising, it's babies raising babies a lot of the times too. And then they're also passing down hatred as well.
Maybe we ought to pass that along to Colin Kaepernick, huh? The San Francisco
what do you think of this Colin Humperdinck, or whatever his name is, the quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers? Quite honestly, I think that Jerry Rice is probably shaking his head. But let me ask you this. Do you think that Colin Humperdinck is...
Kaepernick.
Yeah, Humperdinck. Do you think he is white, black, or stupid?
He's just plain stupid. I posted about that on my Facebook page, and I asked,
really
what is wrong with some folks? and he's saying that he sat down on the national anthem to oppress America, or to protest America's oppression. I think we need to oppress his paycheck and fire him and get on with the football game. That's what we need to do.
It appears that his parents are, his adopted parents are white. I mean, here's the thing. You have the same situation with the president. Barack Obama was raised pretty much by his white parents. What I want to know, and what I believe, and tell me if you agree with this, is the fact that right now the black community as a whole is thinking, Hillary Clinton is a snore. I'm not going to turn out for her. So what we got to do is we got to find a way to stir everybody up. In classic Saul Alinsky style, we get Black Lives Matter and George Soros and his hundreds of millions of dollars behind it, because these people are paid. No one even talks about that. They're paid protesters. I think they're paid like $15 an hour. Anyhow, you got to stir them up. They want to get the black vote mobilized at this point, because if they don't turn out, Hillary is going to lose.
That's right. That's correct.
We got to follow the money trail. So let's focus on what we were. I'd mentioned just before we started this interview off the air. We were talking to you. I interviewed Quanell X many years ago when I was at the Fox News Channel, the new Black Panther Party. He definitely. There's no way he was going to vote Republican, from what I could see. This has got to be 15 years ago I spoke to him. Yet now there's audio tape, actually videotape of him all over the internet and on YouTube, where he's saying, look, it's about time the black community wakes up, that the Democrat Party has failed the black community. It's been 50, 60 years now. There have been two presidents that the black employment rate has been the lowest, and that is Lyndon Johnson and Barack Obama. In fact, it's the lowest since World War II right now, I believe, overall. And it's something like 20 to 25% for young black men under Obama. It's pitiful. And actually, Quanell X is saying we need to wake up. And I don't believe Donald Trump, in many people's opinions, is a regular Republican, quite frankly. They might see him as something, a bit of an independent almost. And it's okay to vote for him. And from what I've seen, he's actually appealing to a lot more of the black community and the Hispanic community than these polls are showing.
Yes. He's actually leading right now, I believe, with these communities.
You think so? From the people you've talked to, what's your take on Quanell X? I was really surprised when I saw that.
I'm very, very surprised that he would, and I was looking actually through some of the feeds where they're talking about him and Donald Trump, and it's very surprising, considering normally he wouldn't speak out and say something like that. I kind of wonder what he's up to in doing so, because he's the new Black Panther Party leader, and they don't care for anybody white, and it wouldn't matter whether it was president or not. So
yeah, but
I'm just kind of wondering what his mind frame is going.
Yeah, but what about Hillary? Come on. She's done nothing for the black community. And actually,
right.
If you look at the Clinton Foundation, there's a drug company called Ranbaxy, and we've had Charles Ortel on many, many times. He's deep into the weeds as far as investigating the Clinton Foundation. Ranbaxy is a drug company that actually was selling inferior HIV and AIDS drugs that they were giving to young and very poor black people in Africa, and they were inferior drugs. And they actually basically said, Oh, they're just a bunch of blacks. Who cares? Nobody cares about them.
Right.
That was really the overall opinion of this. Haiti, same thing. It was nothing but a Clinton slush fund. Haiti's still a mess. Most of the money goes into the Clintons' pockets. Maybe 10% actually gets dispersed out of a multi-billion-dollar foundation.
All right.
Right.
I want to go.
Hillary goes for his agenda, for the Black Lives Matters agenda and the new Black Panther agenda. Donald Trump, not so much. So it's kind of surprising that he did come out and say the things that he did. So that's where I would be leaning towards, what is he thinking? And he needs to be really, really careful on that, because Malcolm X, came to that lovely conclusion later on in his life too, and look what happened there.
Well, a hat tip to Quan LX for 53 years later figuring it out, because in 1963, ladies and gentlemen, Malcolm X made a speech in which he basically said, and I'm paraphrasing, that if you embrace a political party wholeheartedly and they do nothing to help you out, that you're either a political chump, you're not only a political chump, but you're a traitor to your race. Now, Quan LX did not go that far as to paraphrase or to quote from that speech of 63, but he basically was saying the same thing. And I have said over and over, Kaleem Stevens, that that black Americans have outlived their usefulness to the Democrat Party. Your thoughts on that comment?
Yeah, because now you have refugees that Hillary's bringing in that's basically going to take their place. They're getting knocked down in the ladder of success or possibilities of success in this country.
Oh, I've said the same thing. And I even brought that up on my page, on my Justice Lee page, on the pictures with the Black Lives Matter people. I said, you guys are out there protesting, doing all this stuff. Well, look at what the Hispanics are doing. They're not out there protesting and doing all this stuff. They're encouraging their kids to stay in school. They're encouraging, them to do the right thing. They're even have scholarships set up, things like that. Everybody is moving past the African-American people or the black people. I don't like using African-American because we're born here. We're American. And
yeah, I'm not into the hyphenation.
Yeah. I'm not Italian American either. I'm American. Let me ask you this real quick. Have you seen Hillary's America? And do you know any people who have? Because it does focus on the racial aspect and the history of the Democrat Party as well. And from what you're seeing, what is your take on Trump reaching out to the black community?
I think that he needs to reach out a little bit more. But I haven't seen Hillary's America yet. But a lot of people that I do know have, and they loved it. They think they thought it was very eye-opening is what I've been told. A few people have made comments on it. They think she's a nut.
Well, I'll tell you what, Hillary's America. I'll tell you what that movie is. It is a doctorate degree on defeating Hillary Clinton. And we are doing everything we can to usher Donald Trump into a movie theater to see this film.
Yeah, it really would prepare him for the upcoming debate, which is just about a month away. We have interviewed Dinesh D'Souza, and he said the one thing that really hit home, especially with the people who were actors in this movie, they were acting as slaves in Civil War reenactment, the fact that no Republicans owned slaves in the Civil War. And they were like, wow, is that true? And he's like, yeah, it is true. And the Democrat Party is the party of the KKK. And Hillary is flipping that around on Donald Trump, unfortunately, with the help of the mainstream media. It's frustrating.
It's very frustrating. She just sent out an email blast, which I put up on my page because I couldn't stop laughing about it, was that she was calling him out and hooking him up, linking him to the Klan. And it was interesting because she, practically she admires Margaret Sanger, who spoke for the KKK.
Yep.
Yes. Oh, and that was another thing. The low information that the Democrat Party does for their people, especially within the black community. I had brought that up, that they were saying that I'm a part of the party of the Klan. And I said, no, that's the Democrat Party. They don't know the history of their own Democrat Party that they fight so hard for. Mm-hmm. And one lady, she said that we've never had anybody in the Klan. And I said, Robert KKK Byrd just died in 2010.
Yeah. And he was a
Democrat senator.
And he was a grand wizard. I mean, it's unbelievable.
And she didn't know anything about that.
Okay, well, tell her to go see Hillary's America if she's open-minded at all. Maybe there's some hope there. But Kaleem Stevens, we can find you at The Last Civil Right. Hopefully soon everybody can find you again on Facebook. It's Kuuleme. And Stevens with a PH. Kuuleme. Everybody, please look her up. Again, she is a former adult film star, but she's still into the wrestling, the acting, the modeling, the singing, and obviously politics. But she, as a black woman and outspoken, obviously is being attacked because she actually has common sense. That's the best way I can put it. Kaleem, thank you for joining us here on Cowboy Logic Radio.
The two most important things about Kaleem and her blank number of years on this planet. Number one, she's a good mom. Mm-hmm. Number two, she's a veteran. And number three, she's a friend of mine.
Yes.
All right. Hey, Kaleem, we'll talk to you soon. Thanks for joining us. Donna, who do we have coming up next?